So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily MCQ Practice. In this lecture series, we cover a particular day's current affairs through a set of 4 to 5 MCQs. Now, the purpose of this lecture series is very simple. We want you to revise and consolidate your current affairs. And what better way to revise and consolidate your current affairs than by getting much needed MCQ practice? Okay. MCQ practice for current affairs is extremely important because current affairs forms a very important portion of your UPSC Prelims Examination, which is all about MCQs, right? So getting the much needed MCQ practice for prelims from current affairs alone. I'm not talking about static subjects like polity, history, geography. For that, we'll have a separate lecture series, MCQ series, okay? This lecture series is solely focused on current affairs, MCQs for current affairs. Why? Because current affairs forms a very important portion of prelims examination. In fact, 40 to 50% of the questions are directly or indirectly related to current affairs. Okay, so you cannot ignore this lecture series. Okay, you shouldn't ignore this lecture series because, in fact, if you cover 4 to 5 MCQs daily with me on a daily basis, then these 4 to 5 MCQs daily would add up to more than 1200 MCQs by the time you're ready for your next year's prelims examination. And 1200 MCQs is more than sufficient from current affairs alone. Okay? So make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, a daily habit of yours. All right. Enough of the introduction. Let's straight away jump into the discussion, starting with question number 1. Consider the following statements regarding Prevention of Money Laundering Act. It was enacted by Parliament in 2002 under Article 253 of the Constitution. The law allows for investigation of money laundering cases but not confiscation of properties. The law mandates banks to report all suspicious transactions to Enforcement Directorate, ED. All right. Now listen. Prevention of Money Laundering Act was enacted in 2002 by Parliament of India to prevent money laundering. What is money laundering? Well, money laundering is conversion of black money into white money. Black money gotten through illegal means, whether corruption, drug trade, or any other illegal thing. Okay, that is converted into white money by criminals. So to prevent that, Prevention of Money Laundering Act was passed. Now, the thing is, it was enacted by Parliament in 2002. Now, basically, did the Parliament have the power to legislate on money laundering? It could have been a matter mentioned in state list. Okay, state legislative assemblies might have laws to prevent money laundering, right? Then how did Parliament enacted this law? The thing is, Article 253 of our Constitution says that Parliament can legislate on any subject, even a subject mentioned in state list, if that law fulfills India's international obligations. So, if India has signed an international convention and to fulfill its obligations in that international convention, India has to enact a law, well, then Parliament is empowered to enact that law. Okay, so India signed many international conventions to prevent money laundering, and to fulfill those obligations, under Article 253 of the Constitution, Parliament enacted this law. All right. Now, this law allows for investigation of money laundering cases, and if it is found that that person has created properties or assets using laundered money, then this act enables the government to confiscate those properties also. So, confiscation of properties is also allowed. Okay, so this part is false. In fact, PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, empowers Enforcement Directorate to investigate as well as confiscate properties. So, Enforcement Directorate has the power under PMLA. PMLA also says that all banks and financial institutions should maintain a record of all transactions going through their banks or financial institutions, right? And if they find any suspicious transaction, well, that suspicious transaction should be reported to Financial Intelligence Unit of India, not ED. ED is there for investigation and confiscation. The collection of suspicious transaction related information is to be for Financial Intelligence Unit. So this is also false, only one. All right. Question number 2. Consider the following statements regarding Enforcement Directorate. It functions under Finance Division of Ministry of Home Affairs. It is empowered under PMLA to confiscate properties. It is not a statutory body but a specialized agency that investigates offences of money laundering and violation of foreign exchange laws. Okay. Now, Enforcement Directorate is a specialized agency. It is not a statutory body. That means it is not created by an act of parliament, but it is a specialized agency that investigates offences for money laundering, investigate offences under PMLA, Prevention of Money Laundering Act, investigates offences under Foreign Exchange Management Act, that is foreign exchange laws. It also investigates cases related to Fugitive Economic Offenders Act. Okay, those people who steal money in India, okay, commit white collar crimes and then run away from India, like Vijay Mallya and all. So these three laws empower ED. Okay, so this part is correct because it is not a statutory body. It is a specialized agency that takes care of money laundering and foreign exchange laws. That is true. Now, Enforcement Directorate functions under Department of Revenue, which is under Finance Ministry. It doesn't function under Home Ministry. It functions under Finance Ministry, Department of Revenue. So this part is false. In fact, Financial Intelligence Unit, the one we talked about in the previous question, also functions under Department of Revenue. Okay. It is empowered under PMLA to confiscate properties. We have discussed that. So this part is also correct. 2 and 3. B. All right. Question number 3. Which of the following is our correct regarding PM Vidya Lakshmi Yojana? It is a scheme that makes students who get admission in quality higher education institutions eligible for student loans. Okay. The loans would be collateral free and government would take 75% guarantee on loans up to 7.5 lakhs. An outlay of 3600 crore has been made for the scheme for 2024-25 to 30-31 period. Okay. Now, government has launched PM Vidya Lakshmi scheme to make higher education affordable for all. Okay. Now, how can you make higher education affordable? Because higher education is expensive, right? So, through PM Vidya Lakshmi scheme, government has made it a point that the students from poor background can avail loans from banks, okay, which would fund their education. Okay, so it is a scheme that makes students who get admission to quality higher education institutions, okay, eligible for student loans. Now, these student loans would also be affordable. Why? First of all, they are collateral free. That means no collateral should be put forward to avail these loans. Plus, to assure the banks, government would take 75% of loan guarantee. Okay, that 75% of the bank's money would be returned on loans up to 7.5 lakhs. This part is correct. Okay. Now, quality higher education institutions would be selected based on government rankings of universities, which are called NIRF rankings. Okay. Now, government has allocated 3600 crore for this scheme, and this scheme would be operational between 24-25 to 30-31. This part is also correct. All statements are correct. All right. And last but not the least, certainly, consider the following regarding H-1B visa program of USA. It allows American employers to hire non-immigrant workers in specialty occupations requiring high level of skills. H-1B visa is valid for 3 years and can be extended one time for an additional 3 years. Chinese have been the majority H-1B visa holders, followed by Indians. Okay. Now, USA wanted that only the skilled people, highly skilled people in highly skilled jobs, people who have their masters, PhDs, highly skilled people in highly specialized jobs should come to USA to contribute to their economy. For that, they launched H-1B visa program. Okay, so it allows American employers to hire foreign workers, non-immigrant workers in specialty occupations which require high level of skills. Absolutely correct. Now, this visa is valid for 3 years and it can be extended for another 3 years. But after the 6-year period, you have to get another visa if you want to stay in USA. Okay, so this part is also correct. Make sense? Now, who are the majority H-1B visa holders in USA? It is said that around 75% of, or more than 70% of H-1B visas are held by Indians. Indians are availing the majority benefits of H1B visa program, followed by Chinese, but the Chinese are way far behind. Okay, they are around 11%. They only have 11%. India has more than 70%. Indians have more than 70% of these visas. Okay, so this statement is not true. In fact, USA has also kept a limit on the number of H1B visas issued in 1 year. So USA has said that in 1 year we'll issue 60,000 H1B visas plus 15,000 H1B visas for people who are highly qualified. For example, people who have PhDs and all. So in total, sorry, 25. So in total, 85,000 visas are going to be issued every year. And most of them are given to Indians. Okay, so 1 and 2 only. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And I hope it has added value to your preparation, but it would add more value if you revise this lecture also. Take a look at the detailed written solutions to all the questions discussed in this lecture. And you can find those written solutions to these questions in our PDF file. Okay, this PDF file is shared on our Telegram channel. And where can you find our Telegram channel? Below this video in the comment section, I have shared a link to our Telegram channel. All you have to do is just click on that link. It will take you to our Telegram channel, and from there you can download the PDF for not just this lecture, but all the lectures featuring on our YouTube channel. All right. On that note, I'll be signing off. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. Bye-bye, everyone.